This podcast is about you guys, your journey in music, and how you got together and formed Exit 216.
Yeah, awesome, man. Can't wait to dive in, brother. This is exciting.
Very cool. So, do you want to start with you, Steven? I did read you're born Savannah, Georgia. Is that where you were born and raised?
Yep, Savannah, Georgia, in a small little area. I stayed in Savannah till I was 19, and that's when I went to LA to get into the music industry. Me and my brother, we took a Greyhound bus to LA and sung on the street for like 6 years.
Like busking?
That was the goal. We were just going to hit the streets and just sing every day on the street until enough people saw us. And we were just hoping that we would get discovered. And an A&R saw us on the street singing, and he was like, I want you guys to start writing songs.
Wow.
And that's kind of how I got in the music industry. That's my story.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's back up a little bit here. So how did you originally get into music? What was the first instrument you learned?
Well, I was kind of all over the place. Like I played a little. I wasn't the most craftiest when it comes to instruments. I was mainly more of a vocal guy, like just a singer. And as I got to LA, like my first manager, he was a songwriter, and he told me my song sucked. And then that was he then created this guy that wanted to write songs out of nowhere at 21.
Okay. And you said you came out there with your brother?
Yeah, my older brother.
Did you guys? I mean, obviously you played music together. What did he play?
Well, he was kind of like me. He just was a great singer. He played piano. Like we both kind of played piano, kind of played drums. But like I said, overall, we just mainly focused on just singing and writing music. Because I was a producer I wanted to be a producer when I first got to LA. So that's when I kind of learned how to pick it up. And then over time, I was like, man, this isn't working. My beats suck. So that's when I was like, let me just start writing. You know what I mean? And then and that's kind of how, that became how it became, what it was.
So you guys just went out there as like what, like an a cappella duo?
We just sung we got a little karaoke machine, and we would just hook up instrumentals to it and just sing to a little bad mic, and then people just would gather around us and just listen to us sing for like hours at Hollywood Boulevard and the Pier and Venice Beach. We just did that, like I said, 6 years, just waking up every day, just getting people out there. And we got so many business cards. That's kind of where I adapted, like just kind of being a hustler, to really go after what you want,
Wow. And what was the decision to go, let's take this to LA and let's hop on this Greyhound bus and just pretty much,
not to get too sappy, but I lost my parents at 18 years old.
I'm sorry, man.
After that, it's all good. After that, we jumped on a Greyhound because we didn't have anything left. You lose your parents, like it's such a rude awakening to just be like, man, what do I do now? So we had a guy reach out to us in LA that was like, you guys should come out here and, just open your possibilities to new things. So I was like, sure, I'll go to LA if it means I can start over and not think about what just happened. And that's kind of,
okay. Wow.
Crazy.
Wow. Okay. So you get to LA and then, okay, we'll talk about from your journey from LA to Nashville, but Cole, talk to me about were you born and raised in Tennessee?
Yes, sir. I'm from Nashville. I lived here my whole life, and
yeah. How did you get into music? I know that you kind of turned your back on baseball.
I played music pretty much my whole life. Like my dad is an incredible musician and stuff. And, I was always surrounded by it. Like I would sing the Journey songs in his cover band, like at the end of the night when no one else could sing those high songs, when I'm a kid.
Okay.
And, so I was always surrounded by a lot of music and stuff. And, in high school, I was at a crossroads kind of, I was like, man, I'm kind of good at both of these things. What should I do? But, ultimately kind of gravitated more toward music because they're both low possibilities of success.
Sure.
I think I was, a little bit more gifted in music. So I think that's the route. I think that was the right decision.
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, I've never seen you play baseball, but you kill it on as far as this, musician. So your dad was did he just do like cover band stuff, or was he like
he played in a lot. He's from St. Louis. He had a period of time in his life where I would 100% say he was pursuing you know, a career in it. He was a worship leader at a very large church in St. Louis, and he was part of a thing called Integrity Music, which is a very, very big label now. And they're the ones that, like Hillsong and every, you know, big Christian group that does worship is pretty much, they all are on that label. You know, a lot of them are on that label. My dad was just kind of there in the beginning, just you know, around that group of people in St. Louis. That's kind of where it came from. And so but he kind of he gave that all up because he had 4 children, and, and I was the last one. So
okay, so you got 3 older siblings.
Yeah, I got 2 brothers and a sister, and me.
Are they musical at all?
Yeah, my brother Chase. It goes Marshall, Chase, Audrey, and me. And Marshall could sing. I think he just didn't really care about it that much. You know, he's got this. It's there, but he doesn't like hone in on it. And then Chase is an incredible drummer. He's actually going to be playing with me and Steven real soon. We're going to be playing a show in August. If you want to come, it's in Clarksville.
We got 2 shows coming up. Yeah, we got.
My bad. Yeah, 2 shows. But I think we got a for sure full band show though in August 13th. But yeah, man. So I got my sister can sing as well. So I mean, very very musical family. Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. Did you play with your brother like at all growing up? Like
me and Chase
family band.
Well, no, we never get that like chance because I'm 4 years younger than him, and he played college baseball too. He played at Tennessee Tech, and you know, so his life was, you know, I didn't get to be around my siblings as I grew up and got like more mature. I didn't get to spend a lot of time with them in that season. You know, it's not until now that I actually get to spend a little time, you know, with my siblings. So now we try to like, hey, let's play. You know, it's like something, you know, in common. We're both working, you know. It's like something to do, but every now and then, maybe like 3 or 4 times a year, we might all just play around. So, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun for. I think Steven's gonna really like Chase. He hasn't really met him that well, but he's a great drummer, and I think he's gonna be a really good to play with us and stuff.
Very cool. And then so you were always pursuing music in the sense that like were you writing songs and doing that route or just singing?
I remember the first song I wrote I was 17 years old. I wrote it. Steve doesn't know this. It was the homecoming night at the high school I went to. And this girl that I like this girl so much. I went into this room in the school, wrote a song in like 15 minutes, came back out there and then asked the DJ if I could come there with my guitar and play the song.
In the middle of the dance?
I played it in front of hundreds of people in the high school, but I literally said, "This is for you." And I dated her for 2 years after that.
I was gonna say, did it work?
Nice.
It obviously landed, right?
It did. It was probably the greatest decision I've ever made. I'll never forget it. One day I might play that song live for.
I want to hear it now, Cole.
Yeah, it might make the record, right?
It
obviously was good enough. Yeah, I was gonna say it was definitely a good song if you won her heart for 2 years.
The more I think about it, it kind of did change the trajectory of my life because after I did that, I did start thinking about writing songs more. But before that, I didn't. So to answer the question, yeah, I didn't think about pursuing music seriously till probably senior year of high school. So, 17, I was like,
wow.
I wrote maybe 3 or 4 songs that year. And then the year after that, I was like, okay, I think this is what, I've been gifted with. I think I need to do something about it.
Sure. Yeah. That's interesting. So if you didn't have a crush on that girl and write that song, you might have been playing baseball in college.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right, dude. You're totally right. But
ever since I met Cole, he, when I met him, he was just super talented. Like, I just feel like he's like years like ahead of like his class. You know what I mean? Like, for him to be so young and know so much about music, it was very impressive. So that's why I wanted to work with him, because I was like, man, this guy is like, he's really good. So like, him growing up with all those influences definitely molded him into the artist he is today. So it's pretty dope to work with him.
That's awesome. And Steven, so you were in LA. I'm curious to hear your story of getting to Nashville and kind of pursuing your music career. So I did read that you had, contributed to like a Madonna record. Like, tell me what happened when this A&R guy kind of came to you and was like, let's, I don't like your songs, but I see something here.
No, my manager said he didn't like my song.
Oh, okay, the manager.
I was 21 and he was like, you suck. So I basically locked myself in the studio. It was basically studio and street performing 24 hours.
Okay.
I wasn't asleep, or eventually catching a movie here and there. I was literally in the studio every morning, and then I just treated it like a career, like a job, So around 25, we got a call from A&R at Atlantic, and he was like, I would love to get you guys in the studio to write. So it just so happened to be for Flo Rida. And then Flo Rida basically heard one of our songs that we did called Sugar. We did the hook for a song called Sugar. It was right after a song he did called Right Round. So Flo Rida ended up, his team liked it and they wanted to put it out. And that kind of changed me, my brother's life.
Wow.
Right in there. And then we, Scooter Braun hit us up and was like, I got this kid named Justin Bieber. I want y'all to write with him.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Hey, keep in mind, bro. I'm out here wheeling and dealing on the skate center to these songs at 10 years old.
Yeah, it was just like I said, a magical moment. He hit us up, and then we ended up working with him, and then we won a Grammy with Madonna and David Guetta, and then from there I just built
just won a Grammy, no big deal.
I mean, hey, honestly, I really don't think about it, you know what I mean? But then I went to Miami for a little bit, and my mind was just telling me like I just want to I didn't live life. I just literally lived like. Every day was just like, and I'm still like that. Cole knows that about me. I'm a very I don't know, I get obsessive, about
driven.
And it has to be a certain way, and for me, I needed to live a little bit of freedom. So let me go to Miami and just work on some Latin stuff and kind of chill and enjoy what I work for. I did that for a year. And then I went to Atlanta. I was in a relationship, and my girlfriend, we were kind of going through a little bit of stuff. And then she was like, a friend of mine was like, why don't you try Nashville? It's right up the street. And, you never had a country placement. That could be cool. And I laughed at him. I was like, a country placement? I don't think I can do country. So I ended up having a trip here. And the first meeting I had, it just went really interesting. And I just felt like, I think I can get a number one out here. It was just something my soul was like, you could get a big hit out here. Mm-hmm. And that was in 2015, I had that meeting. And in 2017, I ended up having a song with Luke that hit the radio in the 17, 18, that went number one.
Yeah, that was one number away.
Yep, one
correct.
Number one. Yep.
And so you wrote that song. Did you write that with Luke Combs or?
Yeah, I wrote it with Luke, Rob Williford, Sammy Mitchell. We all just basically, I couldn't sleep one night and I was tossing and turning. And I had this hook idea, and I actually recorded it and sent it to Rob. And Rob was like, man, we got to get Luke to get in the studio with us, man, so we can work this one out. And I sung the, and we went in there and just kind of mapped out the verses, and Luke fell in love with it. So even when Luke was just grinding, I met Luke when Luke was just grinding, where no one wanted to sign him. No one was interested in him. I mean, literally, because you got to think Luke Bryan was the guy then. They wasn't even thinking about Luke Combs.
Right.
So and Luke Bryan's still the guy. But my point is everybody was telling him no during that time. So just watching him, just yo, I'm trying to figure out life. I'm trying to figure out how to get this stuff popping. I got a huge YouTube following, but I don't know what to do with it. It was just really cool to see him in those moments. And then he hit me up probably after we wrote it in 2016, he hit me up a year later. 15. He hit me up a year later and was like, can I start performing this song? Because I'm starting to get more shows. And I was like, yeah. And then I heard him when I went to Florida. I was in Florida for a little bit. I heard Hurricane on the radio and he just took off from there. So, it was just crazy.
Wow. That's incredible. So what about with your journey, Cole? So what, once you decided to really pursue music, were you just trying to, you had a scholarship for baseball. And when you decided to, not pursue that, did you just go, okay, I'm going to just do music full time? I'll come back to the college thing if I need to.
Yeah. I was gonna go to school in a different country where that girl lives, and I ended up not doing that.
Oh,
it fell through, and so after that was when I stopped going to school. I was in school, I was moments away from the season starting, And then I was like, I don't want to play baseball anymore. I was going to go to that.
Wow. So you were already attending the college thinking that you're going to play.
Yeah, but I ended up not playing. I just lost the love for the game, I guess. But I couldn't answer that question because like I never was like full throttle for music. I never was, like, even in that period of time before I met Steven. Like, it wasn't until I really met Steven that I was like, oh, okay, I need to do this, you know. Mm-hmm. It just wasn't there. Like I had such mixed feelings about what I was good at, you know. So it's hard for me to answer that question because there was never a certain. I mean, there is a certain moment now I can look back on and say, yeah, that's where I wanted to take it seriously. But before then, it was like, it's whatever.
I mean, when I met Cole, I met him through a guy named Keegan, and he was doing like little videos, little mashup songs with Keegan, like in his apartment. And I was just like, oh my God, like this guy should be like doing some bigger stuff. So that's why I was just excited to like that he believed in the vision I had for me and him coming together and just building something different and great in town. You know, that no one's seen before. And I feel like you can never go wrong when you're doing something, cool and brand new that no one's done or seen before, you know?
Sure. What were those videos that you're doing?
Well, I just did some cover videos with some friends of mine. I'm still good friends with that guy he's talking about. He just came off The Voice too. His name's Keegan.
Oh wow.
Yeah, his name's I don't know what, Keegan Farrell.
Keegan Farrell. He started off.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible musician. So like me and him we would team up and just put out covers and stuff. The song that he's talking about, and specifically I
think it was a John Mayer record, right?
It was Waiting on the World to Change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I saw that. I was like, oh man, like that's the guy. That's the guy. We got to do this group thing.
And then
sorry,
go ahead.
I said that's like my idol. So.
Oh, John Mayer.
Yeah. So I had to sound good. So Steven was like.
So then you heard Cole and you said, was that the first kind of meeting you had for the industry, or tell me about that, Cole?
Well, Steven, how do I answer that question without telling him like names and stuff? I don't know.
You might as well tell him, bro. You might as well tell him.
All right, so right after I got done playing baseball, I did end up doing a songwriting competition. I ended up getting to the finals with me and a couple other dudes, and I forgot the words to one of the first song that I played that night, and I ended up losing it. But it was actually a blessing in disguise. I would never want to win that competition. You never want to have your name as he's the winner of that, you know. But
is it like a contest that people know, a well-known thing? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm glad I didn't, but I meet my manager. His name's Sean. I meet my manager named Sean, and Sean hooks me up with this. I've never written a song with anybody before, ever in my life. And a week later, after being a finalist in that, I started writing with this girl named Femke. She's a Grammy-winning songwriter and producer, a female producer in Nashville, one of the few, and she works for Babyface, Kenny Edmonds.
Oh wow!
And we literally wrote 2 songs together in about 4 days, and after that, she was like, "I'm gonna make some phone calls." So she called Babyface, and we talked for a little while, and then he said, he flew me out to Los Angeles, and I wrote with him for about 4 days. And this is like, I'm gonna tell you right now, I had never done anything musically before. I'd just written my first like 4 or 5 songs to get in the songwriting competition. I'd never done it before, so it was crazy, like the arc of it all. And I went out there and I did some stuff with him, and I definitely learned some things about myself out there that I'm not a R&B, like, you know, because he's the R&B god, you know. He has 11 Grammys of R&B #1 hits and like 30 #1 hits and stuff. So, and I'm not that guy. So it was great learning experience for me to learn how to like write with anybody, but at the same time, it was that was was like the defining moment, I
That was
guess.
pretty cool. That was the one story he told me when I first met him. And it was just really cool to like hear that story because like, you know, Cole has so much soul in his voice. And that's why I think we complement each other pretty well because like, you know, he's a country boy like me. And for him to have so many styles like that, it was just like a really good combination for what I thought we could do in country music together. So yeah, it was always cool hearing that story when he told me. That's why I was like, you got to tell it, bro. It was just a cool story.
For sure. Wow. And then so you find Cole, Steven, and then did you say, hey, I've got an idea for a project? And then you guys linked up. Like tell me about that.
Yeah, I just gave him a call right away or text, and I was like, "Hey, bro, I think you'll be perfect to be in this duo that I think would just be amazing." You know, called we didn't have a name, but I was just like, I just had a vision about doing a black and white duo, and I think it'd be really dope to see that. I was like, it's never been done before. I was like, you want to do something that's never been done? And he was like, bro, let's go. So I mean, that was a conversation. We was in the studio right after that, probably within a month, and we worked on like all of these songs. And then, like I said, COVID hit. That was in February. And, even then that was a blessing because it allowed us 6 months after that to release Brother, which got us in contact with people like you guys, the American Songwriters and the Music Rose and the USA Today's. We hit the ground running on our first release, like from just, out of nowhere without a deal, like just being independent. We got on a lot of people's radar in town. So it was actually perfect timing for us to launch, something like that.
That you said that happened right after COVID hit or right before?
We took a break. Like me and Cole both like depressed like everybody else. Like, man, like mask and we can't leave the house. But then around, June, July, we were like, man, let's put out a song, man, about like bringing people together. So we put out Brother and we end up like really catching fire with a lot of people. And like I said, that put us kind of on the map out here.
Mm-hmm. And did you have that song? Was that song that you guys had worked on and written kind of after
I was
COVID happened?
No, I was going to the studio and I was working with Drake White at the time pretty heavy. And I told Drake White, Drake White, I told him about the idea and he was like, man, I would love to write it with you. So I wrote it with Drake White and a guy named David Mescone, who produces a lot of our stuff. And Cole heard it and I was like, bro, you want to, put this out? I think it'd be a good look. And yeah, it worked out pretty well for us. Just as our first one,
Yeah. And then you put out Robbery. Robbery was a second.
Yeah, we put out Robbery in March with Nikki Williams, and that was doing pretty well for us. So like I said, with us, me and Cole, like we're just kind of like loving this stage we're in because we're just creating different things. We're having really good meetings with a lot of people in town that are potentially looking to do some stuff with us. So we're just in a good place right now, creatively and like business wise.
Sure. And how do the songs come together? Do you guys write like the songs together or like how does it work?
Well, with the last few ones, I'll speak on Cole's behalf. I'll let you chime in after Cole. But the last two, Robbery and Brother, I kind of had the idea and I went in with it and just kind of pitched it to Cole like, hey, jump on this. But a lot of the other stuff that I feel like is our best material, we wrote together.
Okay. And that hasn't come out yet, obviously.
That hasn't come out yet. I don't think you haven't heard our best yet.
Wow.
Like, in my opinion. I mean, the other stuff that we put out, in my opinion, are more just like, they're just cool. But it was more on the angle of just like, we have to be different. We have to separate ourselves as new artists so we could create a lane for ourselves. But as far as what we are as what we see ourselves being, we haven't put that out there.
How was that decision for you, Steven, to kind of jump away from just writing songs and being a songwriter for people to more of now you're in the forefront as an artist?
I think honestly, it's a lot better. I mean, when I came in as a writer in 2008, writing was still like looked at as like you were like that guy. Like, I know Cole, even you remember Dream, Cole, the Dream, Ella,
oh yeah,
the Dream, and like guys like Neo and stuff like that. So like those guys blew up just being behind the scenes, and then they became the artists, but they were looked at as like the real deal behind the scenes before they even got popped off as artists. I knew about all of these guys. And I was fans of their work, but now I feel like with social media, it's always better to be the face. So I just needed the right vehicle to put things in the right place for me to feel comfortable becoming an artist. So with Cole, this was the perfect vehicle to launch as an artist to be the face. So in my opinion, I think it's better. It's not even a huge adjustment. It's just more of just me and Cole just have more control. We talk about what we want to put out. We talk about what makes sense. And you know, with songs, it's out of your control. All you can do is pitch it and hope the artist likes it.
Sure. And this way you can put it out whatever you want.
You can just talk about it. It's a conversation. Hey, what we want to do, how we want to do, like, it's just a conversation. And I love that.
With like Robbery, for example, is that like when you write a song, is it, I know that this is going to be a song for Exit 216, or is it like, maybe should I pitch this? Like are you still pitching songs, or I would imagine you are.
Oh yeah. And I'm trying to get me and Cole pub deals. Like I said, that's what kind of stuff behind the scenes we're working on. But yeah, I try to pitch. I didn't pitch Robbery. I just kind of brought it to Cole and the team. Was like, what do y'all think? I was kind of selling them, like, I'm a marketing guy. So like for me, like I was like, this is the way we can go, you know, just like Brother. It was like, this might be better for us on a marketing level. And that's kind of how I approached it. But like I said, in the future, I want it to be not just marketing, but just like what we feel is just like the best record to get us even more popular. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You gotta climb, you gotta crawl before you walk. You know, like if we didn't have Brother, you know, who knows what we would be. We probably wouldn't be talking to you if we would have put out a song that probably wouldn't have got us, you know, in people's eyes, you know?
Yeah, that's facts.
And with like the new stuff that you have coming out, like what's the plan? Do you have an EP or record that you're gonna release or roll out, or kind of go single by single?
But that's what's kind of top secret, because we're in such a cool time. That's why I said for me and Cole, we can't really talk about it. But it's just, we got a lot of things in the work that it could go either way. You know what I mean? As far as like, it could go that way, it could go that way. As far as putting out singles, it could be an EP. But let's just say we will be putting out something more than likely over the summer. Wouldn't you agree with that, Cole?
Absolutely.
I love it. Well, I can't wait to hear the rest of the songs that you have done and that you're working on. And that's awesome that you're able to play some shows coming up. That must be such a cool, like, exciting thing for you.
Yeah. Oh, we can't even talk about that, right, Cole? We probably can't. Can we even talk about that right now? The one we got in June, bro?
Yeah, sure we can.
All right, well, go ahead.
I think it's cool.
We got a red carpet event show for CMT. It's called Love and Acceptance Awards.
Okay.
There's going to be Brother Osborne going to be there. Low Cash is performing. It's going to be really cool, and we get to open guys. So
wow.
It's our first red carpet show / performance. And,
we're gonna be on that. We're gonna be on that TV, Mom.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, there you go. That's exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. I mean, like I said, I tell me and Cole have to remind you know, we talk sometime a lot of just about life, and I tell Cole, like, we're so lucky to only been, you know, out for under a year and to get all of this stuff like moving for us. Because you know how it is in this town as a new artist, they don't start getting momentum 5, 10, 8 years in.
Oh yeah, don't they say it's a 10-year town?
Exactly. So I have to always remind Cole and be like, bro, we've only been at it like since Brother came out about 8, 9 months, which is very fast in my opinion. Even with the numbers we're gaining online, like it's just remarkable. So we're very blessed and humble for that.
That's so awesome. And then the show in August, but I don't know if you're allowed to talk about that one either, but
the one in August, you can tell about that, Cole, in Clarksville.
So I was saying earlier, it's just a outside show in Clarksville on August 13th. We are the headlining artists.
Wow.
And we'll have some there'll be music, I think, from 12 to 8, and we'll probably play from 7 to 8 or 6 to, I don't know, 7, not sure, but yeah, so you know, we'll get some more information real soon, closer we get to it. But yeah, we'll be playing about, you know, our probably, if we don't get any shows till then, that'll be like our first band, I think, you know, full band show, which is I'm super excited for.
That's really cool. And you get to play with your brother.
Yeah, I play, like I said, John Mayer is like my idol. So, you know, I've been wanting to play, you know, like with the electric guitar and stuff and everything, and drums and the whole 9 yards.
Sure. Where is in Clarksville? Dude, my family and I, we just moved to Nashville, like literally.
Where'd you move from?
San Diego, California. We're one of the California refugees. We're a California refugee.
Are you Switchfoot fans?
Yeah. My son's first show is Switchfoot. We've had them on. We've had them on our show before. Yeah.
That is awesome, dude. I love. Tell John I said hi.
I will. And Drew went to the same high school as me.
Dude, that is so awesome, dude. I love it. Yeah, all my family lives in California too, man. There's we were just with some refugees yesterday. They're moving.
Oh, that's so cool.
I got my start in Cali, so I consider myself a Cali boy. So for me, like, I love California, man. I used to date a chick in San Diego, so I was there every weekend, dog.
Oh,
So
there
I
you
know
go.
about that world very well.
Yeah, so we just moved out here, so we're really excited. We haven't had a chance to see any shows or do anything yet because it's
Wow.
pretty.
Clarksville is about an hour north of Nashville. Or it's more like 40 minutes north of Nashville.
45 minutes, yep, from downtown.
Oh, okay, so I'm south, so I'm down by Franklin, so that's
So you would just head up. You would just get on 65 and it's right off of 65
forever.
Yeah, it's right off of 65. It would probably be about an hour drive for you from Franklin.
That's
so,
not
man,
far.
if you're down, bro, we can get you some tickets, man. You can come chill with your boys, man. Let us know, man.
Oh yeah, what's the age limit on this show?
You said what?
Is there an age limit?
No, it's outdoor, so I think it's anybody.
Cool, because I got two kids. I got a 13 and a 5-year-old. So.
Oh no, it's outdoor. Wow. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I think it's gonna be just chill, but we can find out more information to see if it's like super family oriented or if it's just like people getting drunk and listening. To
Yeah. I mean, either way, as long as they're of age. I mean, as long as there's no restrictions on the kids,
sure,
that's
man.
fine with me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just feel like it's moments like this for me and Cole, man. We're so grateful to have you. Interview us, man. Like, and to be one of your first ones in Nashville, we'll never forget about that, bro.
Oh, I love it, man. Thank you guys again so much for doing this. I do have one more question I would like to see if I can answer from before I let you guys go. If you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Wow, you want to go first, Cole?
Yeah, sure. Aspiring artists, man, I would say find your sound. Find your sound. And so this is a hard one, dude. I don't think about this all the time. If I could, I guess I could say it like this. If I could tell my 18-year-old self, I would just say write 100 songs. If you're an aspiring artist, don't wait for someone else to write your songs for you. Write 100 songs, write 300 songs, write 500 songs, and just find your sound. I don't know what else. It's a hard question.
I got it. I love it. You got a team member. You pass me the mic. It's all good, bro. I would probably say treat it like a sport. You know what I mean? Because that's the same type of schedule you kind of need to win. Like athletes, they train, they wake up in the morning, they wake up early to go. They eat a certain way. They keep their mind sharp. They keep their body sharp. I would say invest in your craft, learn how to play an instrument, learn how to write, learn how to develop your voice. I think we lost Cole. Thank God it's the end. But I would just say treat it like a sport. That's the best way I would explain it to a new artist, because athletes really have an intense schedule when they're not in the off season, and you kind of have to treat it like that. Like, just work hard every day. Make sure you plan out your days. Don't let a day go by where you don't feel like you're doing something productive, whether that's networking, working on your craft, working on your body, your mental, everything you need to do to be 100%. That's what I would say to a new artist.